Hello, and welcome to Albion by NancyAdamSusan. Apparently, this is a game about exploring a small industrial town, so we're going to do just that. Well, right away, the game has a very nice grayscale aesthetic that I'm enjoying. I believe that this was part of one of the horror PS1 haunted game jam things. Some combination of those words that would make what I said make sense. Oh, this is nice where you get the little background of the note on top of it, and you can kind of keep moving. So you can, well, I mean, you can only go so far while you're still reading it, so you can't just keep reading it on the go. But that was a nice little touch to note reading, at least retaining a little bit of control while you're at it. The aesthetic's nice. PS1 style graphics, as a lot of the games we've played have been. They've been styled in that way. This one looks particularly nice. There's not a lot of texture warping, which while I really appreciate the texture warping effect because it is very unsettling to look at, it's nice to just see something that, doesn't nauseate you to look at. And, I say that in a good way. Horror, getting nauseated is good, actually. But, this looks very nice, very picturesque with the grayscale. I think there's a color out there in the sky that might be a bit more brown than gray, but that could just be my eyes not working entirely great. I'm assuming that at the very least, gray and brown with very, very light touches of brown, but mostly grayscale. It's a nice looking game. No sound thus far in the game proper. When we were on the menu, we got that whining noise. Not exactly sure what creates those kinds of noises, so I don't know how to describe it any better than a whine. Ooh, some red. That's always a good thing when you see some red. The screen gets weird while we were looking at it. Yeah, probably not good. It's a often used effect of something being in grayscale and then having like blood pop in, and all of a sudden the blood is colored. So it's not a totally revolutionary idea, but it's something I always appreciate. It's one of those things that you see time and time again, but it's a nice effect, and it's always very just striking when it happens. The committee forbids the carrying of sharp objects upon one's person. No, wait, okay. Oh no, I couldn't see that again. I walked that a little too far. I couldn't actually read that last part. Is that another phone booth? Man, this phone booth got it. What are these actually? I was just like, oh yeah, it's probably garbage, but there's a lot of necklace-looking objects in here. Not entirely sure what's up. We probably should head towards the big red. Look, it looks like there's red and there's something off in the distance. It looks like it might be. I was gonna say it looks like it might be a cross, so maybe it might be a church, but it is jittering a whole lot. I'm not sure if it's going away or if it's just kind of doing its thing, so we'll leave it be. I thought it might be like a power line. Oh, it's like a power station, isn't it? I think I see it now. I wasn't sure if it was like a monster off in the distance or if it was some kind of, power structure, church of some sort. All right. Okay. That time I actually read the full thing. I had accidentally missed out on the last one. Oh, hey, I almost didn't look at you. I'm not sure how gutsy I should be if I should... Oh, that's an eyeball. Oh, it makes a squishy noise when you step on it. We can't go any farther than that. I wasn't sure how gutsy I should be if I should be not approaching the red stuff. But sometimes you just gotta take a risk. We're in the big city now, the big borough of Albion. We gotta take some risks. You gotta take some risks. You gotta break some eggs if you want to eat. The famous saying goes. We're all aware of it. There was that big towering mass of red back in the other direction. There was also we saw the first instance of us seeing the red substance. We could have gone off to the right instead of the left, but I was using my noodle and thought, hey, we probably don't want to go in the direction that the red mass moved off into, but maybe we should have checked out that way. There was a sparking power line. which I believe had some yellow. Nice use of nice restrained use of color. Like I was saying earlier, it's not a brand new or revolutionary technique, but it is always very striking. I always appreciate it. It's one of those things like whenever just thinking about video games. I'm gonna approach it, since when we approach the other one something happened. I'm gonna touch it. Is that a light bulb? Nope, it's just another tendril. All right, I touched it. Probably did irreversible damage to my body and soul, but a baby's got to do what a baby's got to do. My phone used to be able to autocorrect that for me, and then I got a new phone, and it hasn't learned it since, and I'm upset. The towering red is behind a gate, so it doesn't seem like there's anything we can do unless it would just reach out and take us, which we wouldn't want. That'd be bad. We don't want to be taken by the red stuff. We don't love the red stuff yet. Not a fan of the red stuff. It's not done much to endear itself to me. Now, if they told me to, go commit some horrible acts in its name, maybe we would understand and love the red stuff. But we don't. It hasn't garnished our love yet, is what I'm saying. Oh, I thought that was an arm, but no, it's a power pole. Probably. I wonder if that was intentional to make it look like an arm, or if that's just me, being jittery, trying to see things where there's nothing. This is starting to look similar to where we started. Just I guess in that. Oh, let's answer the phone first. I was gonna avoid the phone, but looks like something might be happening up over there. Well, see, I was worried about us not loving the red stuff, but it's glad we came. So I'm glad that we came here. I can't hear it breathing. If I step on the eye, I can hear it squish, but I can't hear it breathing. It hasn't given me a name, I don't think. I can't hear it. I also can't seem to run into it. Alright, so... Oh, wait. No, I saw that red and thought... Oh, actually, is that an eyeball? Looks like an eyeball. Alright, so we can't hear it breathing. It hasn't given us a name yet. Perhaps we'll learn the name it has given us in time. Do we need to return to the... No, it just opened up because we were close to it. I don't think I ever finished saying what the other thing, like a common thing that happens in video games, because I got distracted by red tendrils. But I was going to say, whenever like upbeat, like, oh, you're about to kick the final boss's ass music starts up, like when you enter the last phase, plenty of video games do it. But damn it, I love it when it happens. All right, so we've been almost everywhere. I say that, and then we find a little alleyway we can go down. I've seen you eyes before. I can't seem to interact with it on the other side of this, so I'm not sure if I should just continue to stare at it until my screen goes super-duper weird, or if we should just, get on out of here, find something else to do. I'm not sure if there's an ultimate goal to this game. I forgot to mention it up top. Oh man, I think I forgot to mention like literally everything up top. Link in the description if you wish to play. Link to the creators' Twitter as well. Yes, I had to remember if I could find the creators' Twitters, because sometimes they don't post them. So link to the creators' Twitter so you can go follow them. I don't believe there's a support option on the Albion page, but what I was going to mention is that this is a prototype, so perhaps there isn't an ultimate goal at the moment. Maybe this is just setting up what will be a full experience one day. Or maybe, if we wander around a little bit more now that we've gotten that final phone call. Well, I say final phone call, but I don't know that for sure. Maybe now we can make something happen. Like, I don't think we were able to get here previously, so this may not be... Well, it's not a finished experience. It literally says that it's a prototype, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to reach an end, if the game will be like, hey, thanks for playing, you've hit the end, or if just, we just look around the city, and that's all there is to that. But I suppose we found an area that I don't believe we were able to get into previously. We can get a little closer to this mass of red stuff. Who? Maybe that squelchy noise is it breathing? So maybe we've heard it breathing now. Maybe we will receive a name from it, and then our love of it can truly begin once it's christened us with a name. Then we'll know who we truly are to it, and then we can know who it is to us, and that's when the love starts. And then, once you love your indescribable eldritch being, is whenever your life truly begins. It's a tale as old as time. But, like I was saying, with, striking use of color in a black and white world. And when kick-ass, you're gonna win the day track starts in a final boss fight, it's good. Some tales as old as time, some cliches are good sometimes. Sometimes they're cliches for a reason. Does not seem to be anything happening over here at the moment, though. I don't believe we've been able to interact with any of the doors. I haven't been clicking on all of them, but they don't seem to be interactable. We got the prompt for the notes when we got close to them to interact with them. Oh, did I hear something? I thought I might have heard something. So I'm not sure if perhaps maybe I should have been going to each of these doors and clicking on them to see if something could happen. Well, we've already been over there. Okay, so I think we've seen everywhere. But before we end off this video, I'm going to just, trek back to the beginning of oh, I saw the red and I thought something was coming at me just based on the way that the pixels kind of bob with the character head bob. I was like, oh, cool, something's running at me. But I'm going to return back to the beginning of, I was going to say the level. Maybe I mean, it is true. It's a video game. Some people say like map or board. I've never heard board before, but I know some people say board, like referring to video games. I tend to call them levels. But this is a town, the borough of Albion. We know this. We know this to be true. But we'll return to the beginning, see if anything's up there. So once again, this is a little prototype. So there's probably more to come of this game. Maybe this is just a little taste test, so you can get a little taste of the aesthetic the game's going for, what kind of like creepy things it's going to do, which nothing particularly outright like oogity boogity the monster's going to get you scary has happened, which I appreciate. Well, I do enjoy that, and that tends to be the kind of horror that actually like deeply scares me, because I'm a very simple man, I guess, and these complex eldritch beings, they don't get to me because I just fall in love with them instead. If they're not actively hunting me, I can fall in love with them. But this is a very nice looking game. I enjoy the I don't know why I had to say enjoy like 5 times there. I enjoy the aesthetic. I think it looks good. And I'll be interested to see what comes of it. Unfortunately, there does not seem to be a way to support it at the moment. Here, we can do this together. Doesn't seem to be a way to like. There's no like support option if you go to their thing. This is the only game here on their Twitter page. Maybe there'll be like a Patreon or something. I don't see one. So yeah, just keep an eye on the space to come back and see when Albion is no longer a prototype and is a complete experience for you and I to enjoy. So once again, come and check this out and be ready to support the art and support the artist. I was like, how do I say give them money nicely? But no, you should support the artist. You should give artists money. They deserve your money.